Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Welcome to your Monday. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Guess who's back? Pinky's back.
Yeah. She is. Crazy, huh? Just keep laughing like how many people just don't believe the pink eye story. It's a landslide.
And it's getting worse for Kev because there's a video that's about to come out and it doesn't look good for Sinicki.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I love the controversy.
So much. Yeah, it's really kind of unbelievable here. It's really kind of crazy. All right, let's see here. We got a couple more follow-up column outs here for a Monday. Jen said, I want to call out the assistant who didn't get binders together for a trial this morning while I was on vacation. Instead, she just left a sticky note on the binder cover that says, "We'll do on Monday."
Oops.
Thank goodness I had KVJ at 5 a.m. this morning when I got to work. Welcome back, Virginia.
Thank you.
Also, another email here from Sherry said, hey, my favorite people, I had to wait till the After the Show podcast for this call out. You will read why. I'm calling myself out. I went to the Pink concert, which was the best show ever, and not only am I calling myself out for pouring vodka and Red Bull drinks in the Walgreens parking lot while my son rolled a blunt in the front seat, but I recorded some of her singing and I was yelling, "Fuck yeah," the entire time. Besides, I was pretty tipsy. I didn't remember until I watched the videos I had recorded. I was like, really? How terrible for the other people at the show. Yes, I was that lady. I'm sorry to those people that had to hear me swear during that show, but at the same time, fuck yeah, it was the best concert ever.
Aww. She loved it. She's got a little bit too into it.
Yeah. You know, it just kind of happens. It's kind of what goes down. Yeah, some people get a little bit boisterous. I went to the Avengers Infinity War movie over the weekend.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you turned on your seat.
No, somebody actually emailed and texted and said they're supposed to reset that before you go in.
Yeah, you can turn it off if, like, during the movie you don't enjoy it. You can hit off, but yeah, it should reset and it should turn itself on. And
you might have just had a shitty seat.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cannon's didn't work, mine didn't work. Yeah, we just had two. And I was like, I mean, I guess thank goodness, because at the end, I got to say, I'm like, well, this D-Buck sucks ass. And then Cannon's like going, hey, Dad, I don't think our seats work. And, like, the people in front of us, they're like, it was like they're on some kind of amusement park ride. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like I said, my chair would, like, rumble a little bit maybe, like when something would hit on the screen. But part of it, I'm like going, well, is that the chair actually rumbling? Or is, you know, sometimes the sound's so loud it'd rumble anyway?
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's it, man. This thing is weak.
We're getting to the point where they're going to start releasing those smells out into the audience. I guarantee you that's going to be at every theater eventually.
Well, they got to try to stay one step ahead of the home theater that people have. And so they've got to have the experience worthwhile. I mean, I couldn't believe that. Like, I wasn't really paying attention when I got the tickets because it's on my phone and somebody's talking to me the whole time. So I'm like, you're trying to concentrate and buy your tickets. And so got it. And I'm like, oh, gosh, $46, man. That's crazy. And that was no snacks. That was just, to see the Avengers movie in two broken seats.
But if it's a movie and a ride, that's kind of cool, and you can justify it. But your ride was broke.
Yeah, I got more people, I think, saying that it was broke down. Like, even if it's working, like, it's not worth it. So, yeah, I think that the IMAX is really cool. I like that. And I've even liked some of the 3D stuff. I didn't used to be a big believer in that, but yeah, it'd be interesting to get other people's takes. I'm a very infrequent moviegoer, but like if you had to say what's worth the money and how would you rank the three experiences? Because I think you have IMAX, you have the D-Box, and then you have the 3D, and sometimes you have IMAX 3D, which, put it all together. I guess you can put all three together. I mean, what the hell? Why not? So
yeah,
I get what people think is good. I guess, fortunately, I didn't have this guy in my theater. There's a guy in San Bernardino that is a theater preacher, and he jumped out of his seat during the movie and started preaching about God, and moviegoers started to panic. In fact, one woman leaped over a balcony in the movie theater, tried to escape, and fell 20 feet to the ground below, where she was then trampled by other people trying to get out.
Oh my gosh.
See, that's why when people ask about why do you guys do more social experiments, that's why people are acting really squirrely, more than they did 10 years ago.
And they don't know if someone's about to pull out a gun.
Right. Yeah.
Especially in a theater.
In a theater, right.
Yeah, the guy got arrested at the scene. Police later checked his home to determine if he was an actual threat, and he said that he regularly preaches about God during movies and did not know why this time in particular caused panic.
What a
Motherfucker, we are
dumbass.
here to see the Avengers.
Right.
Somebody should have just seriously just knocked his ass out.
Yeah. You
What
know,
a dummy.
It's not that I don't have the problem with him going out there and doing it and causing it's the I didn't know people were going to get fucking mad. How do you not know? Of course you do.
And now you're disturbing everybody's movie experience. They don't want to hear you.
It's not the best time to get people to convert to your side.
No.
Yeah, and me personally, as a guy of faith, when you see some knucklehead like this, you're like going, look, the last thing people want, you're not going to convert somebody who's in a theater who's going to be like, yeah, maybe I do need Jesus. That ain't going to work. It's
I just spent $40 on these D seats. Yeah,
Right.
preach to me.
You just got to like, come on, man. Come on, man.
He's making all of you look bad.
Right, exactly. You
Well-
see this kind of stuff, and you're just like, this is not where and when you make this happen.
Oh, this guy, he's not doing it for God. He's doing it for himself.
Exactly.
This is an ego-driven
It's not
thing.
about God.
I
It's
don't
about
know.
him.
You don't know. Some people really think they are legitimately doing it for God.
In
They're
a-
very misguided.
In a movie theater, you know what you're doing. You are doing it for attention.
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
do. In a movie theater, you absolutely are.
I've met some that really think, and I've talked to some of them, like legit, and they really think that they're like, and I'm just like, no. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, people are so out of touch. I'm like, people, you're not going to reach anybody doing this.
This is like the clowns that go on Bourbon Street during Mardi Gras and yell at people.
Right.
You are a sinner.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anywhere by screaming at people
No.
on a street in Mardi Gras when everybody's having fun.
I would say the movie's worse than that because you're actually in a theater. You're
Yeah.
there to see a movie.
And you're disturbing people's experience that they pay good money for.
It's premeditated. You go in there knowing you're going to make a distraction. You're trying to make a name for yourself.
You're a jerk.
yeah, I'd be like, come on, man.
Stop.
Think this through. Yeah. There's a different way. There's a different approach. It's not the place, not the time. Got this email from Vicky. She said, so I got a question. Want to get your opinion on. I got a set of twins that are technically the same race, Hispanic, but have very different skin tones. One is very fair-skinned and the other is darker-skinned. And yes, Jaybird, they have the same mom and dad. Nobody cheated. Anyway.
Why?
I just didn't want to be like, I wonder how that
Jaybird's
happened.
not buying
I
it.
didn't say shit.
Anyways, many parents do. I have cute little pet names for them, but I've started to notice lately that people look visibly uncomfortable when I call them their pet names in public. I think I'm embracing their differences and not shying away from talking about something that is so obvious so that they don't grow up feeling bad about themselves. But I feel like some people think it's racist. No one has outright said it, but I have gotten the really comment when I've called them that in front of people I know. I'm attaching their picture. You can see here.
What
One of
is
the
she-
girls has darker skin tone. The other is lighter.
But what does she call him?
Meet my Pocahontas and Snow White. Can you tell which one is which?
Okay, all right. You're her mother. You do what you want. You know your kids.
Yeah.
You're doing nothing wrong.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but people do. I think people are just,
Well, fuck those people.
You're calling them Disney princesses.
Yeah.
I mean, what little girl wouldn't want to be identified as a Disney princess?
You're coming from a place of being goofy and
Yeah.
lovable with your kids, and if anyone's got an issue with it, shit that.
it's not you, it's everyone else.
Yeah.
On that instance. And I think that's part of the problem that we've got going on today is, honestly, I think when you get down to the core of it, understanding racism in this country, it really is not that complex. And I think that people try to make it a lot more difficult than what it is. I mean, really, racism is there is some biased bigotry, hatred, whatever, behind your feelings, your approach, your comments. And it's taken away anything that has ever been fun or whatever that's cute, that there's no bias or hatred or bigotry that comes with the comment that you're saying.
Yeah, you know what's in your heart, and your daughters are responding to it, and they're having a good time. And people are going to always judge. People judge. I mean, no matter what you do, somebody out there is going to have a different perspective than you.
Yeah,
it's the way it goes.
There shouldn't be anything wrong with just saying, hey, yeah, one's darker, one's lighter. It's just the way you are. It's just the color of your skin. It's the way things go.
But we love you.
Yeah.
Every one of you.
And the same. There's no difference. Just one has darker skin, one has lighter skin, and that's all it is. There should be nothing more to it. Hopefully society will start getting that very soon, that there's nothing more to it than that. Your skin is darker, your skin is lighter, and that's really all it is. Christina sent an email, said, I'd love for you guys to give a shout-out to my daughter, Markella. She's been volunteering with Big Brothers, Big Sisters for 2.5 years and mentors a little sister.
Aww.
And this past Saturday, she was awarded the Big Sister of the Year. She is a great mentor and cares so much about her little sister and is such a positive role model in our community. She also loves the KVJ show and has volunteered at multiple events with all of you, feeding families and beach cleanups alongside her little sister. I'm so proud of her. It means so much to her and to me. If you could give her a shout out on the air Monday morning. She listens to the podcast as well as to the regular show. Love y'all. Been listening since day one with Kevin and Virginia. Aww. Christina.
Congratulations. I mean, Big of the Year. That's huge.
Yeah, right? It's very cool. It's a great program, too.
Yes.
Really
I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for years. My little aged out. She's like 25 now. Mm-hmm. But I still see her maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah. It's a really great thing. You know, there's a lot of people out there that need a little bit of guidance and someone to help them through. And
yeah, with my case, you know, her parents were going through a rough time, and she was living with her grandmother, and the grandmother just couldn't take her to do all the fun stuff.
Yeah,
that, you know, someone like myself with no kids at the time and plenty of free time. So it was great for both of us.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool. And it's, stepping in. A lot of times you don't even realize these kids have nobody else. It's pouring some positivity into them. And, and that, a lot of times that's really what it takes. So
it is. And you can make such a huge difference.
Yeah.
In one life that you can turn everything around for that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. I was talking to one of our employees here in the building, and he used to be a football coach and used to work out at Glade Central and has been at a couple other schools. And he was talking about a couple guys that are now playing in the NFL, and one of them in particular, Travis Benjamin, who went on and played for the Canes and then went to the pros. He was, always pouring positivity into Travis because he didn't really believe in himself. And he said, hey, and he's like, well, no, man. He's like, he said, you have no idea how big you're going to be one day. And he's like, shut up, coach. And he didn't believe in himself, and he kept, staying at him. And then, finally.
That stuff is so important.
Yeah.
That people don't really, I feel like a lot that's kind of gone away, but motivating and being encouraging to somebody, because a lot of people don't think they're good enough.
Yeah.
They can't see the talents that they have. They do. They need a cheerleader every now and then to kick them in the ass to realize, hey, okay, you are awesome.
And he didn't, because nobody was telling him that. And, and he couldn't believe he was ever going to go to college or anything like that. And he had somebody that kept telling him, saying, you are great. You don't realize the greatness in you and what you can do. And anybody who knows anything about football and the Canes know that name. And he's gone on to greatness. Very talented kid that probably wouldn't have been there if somebody wasn't pouring positivity into him all the time.
Yeah, I can't say enough about encouragement. That really is something that can help a lot of people.
You never know how you shape lives when you do that. So not only his life, but probably his kids' lives and his grandkids' lives. And
you changed a whole generations of that family.
Yep. Luis sent in an email. He said on Monday, I think it was last week, he had the woman on who was not in love with her husband anymore and contemplating a divorce. I noticed that every single person who called in or text said that they felt the same way. We're all women. I'm curious if men ever divorce for that reason. I'm on the opposite side of the story. I'm a man whose wife left him for the same reason. She was no longer in love. She didn't feel there was any romance. She no longer had any physical attraction. I don't understand this at all. Marriage and love is not like what you see in the movies, always about passionate lovemaking and kissing in the rain. There are a lot of mundane things about it too, like dropping kids off at school, cleaning toilets, making dinner. It doesn't mean you don't continue to express love for your spouse and enjoy special moments together, but not every moment is going to be exciting. If all you are chasing are thrills, then you will never be happy, because those early relationship butterflies always fade over time. You need someone who is loyal and will stick by you even when everything is not peachy. Someone who is willing to grow old with you, not someone who is chasing down a new fling when things are no longer exciting. I've been divorced for 2 years now, and I still feel broken inside. I was a good man. I provided for my family. I loved and took care of my children. I did not pursue other women. I did not have any vices that would be destabilizing to the relationship. And even now, whenever my ex is in trouble or needs help or needs a favor, I am still there for her. But she still wants nothing to do with me.
Well, we got to get this guy laid.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough, man.
That is tough.
Because you can't change her mind. You know, once she's gone and she's out, she's done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's just sad that he's just left behind going, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just being me.
Love, man. It'll knock you on your dick.
It is tough. It's weird. Some people are weird to love, too. Like,
Agreed.
they need someone that is almost, like, bad to them and dysfunctional, and that's what attracts them. It's so weird that I see that sometimes. You're just like, why do you love that person?
Well,
weird.
everyone thinks they have their own idea of love, but it really is different for every person. Like the way you need to be loved is going to be different than I need to be loved. And we try to act like everyone has to be loved A, B, and C, or they have to give out love A, B, and C. That just ain't the case, man. Humans are onions. A lot of fucking layers to us.
Yeah. It's sometimes there's usually when you see somebody like that, there's usually some kind of dysfunction that goes back earlier in their life. Almost a self-loathing kind of thing where it's like they want to try to find that person that's still going to continue to be bad to them, and that's what they continue to chase.
You're talking about someone that treats them poorly, that they always find someone that treats them and keeps
you
them
see
down.
That person, you have a friend that's always in that awful relationship, and you're like going, why do you only love D-bags? And then there's somebody that like actually cares for you and takes care of you and is supporting and loving, and you just crap all over that person.
That's
like
weird.
Yeah.
Well, then you try to give that person advice time and time out, again and again, and they don't listen to you. And then you're just at a point, well, fuck it. Let's just have drinks. We're not going to talk about it. You're not going to listen anyway.
No, they not.
No, not going to work.
It's almost like you've said it before. Sometimes when people are talking, they just want you to agree with them, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right on certain things.
They want validation a lot of times. Yeah, I think that a lot of the calls that people get for us, is like they just want a little bit of validation. Like, when I feel like I'm in crazy land here, and I just want someone else to be like, yeah.
Tell me I'm just doing this right.
Right.
Well, it'd be nice if someone sought out advice and then you give advice and they're like, okay, I'm going to apply that. Those motherfuckers never do that.
I got this email said, hey, do any of you all know exactly what goes on at a swingers club? I found this lounge in my area and I was super excited to check it out. However, once I did some research online, it sure does sound like a swingers club. Tuesday nights, couples only. Thursday nights, couples and single guys only. My husband still wants to check this place out, which makes me wonder if he's into this kind of lifestyle. Yikes. I told him I did not want to be around that kind of environment. The place looks super sketchy on top of it. He then called me boring.
Oh, he is trying to, without a doubt, bust a cuckold.
He wants to swing.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Long story short, can you actually go to a swingers club and not be into swinging? I'm afraid it'll be too much for me.
Well, no, you can do, because I've heard people going there, they just wanted to check it out and see. But
not with your partner who wants to swing.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even go. If you don't want to swing, I would not go.
Go with somebody who doesn't want to, and then you guys just make fun of everybody there. That's fun.
Because if me and you went to a swingers thing,
we'd have a blast.
We would have a blast just
we
watching
would tear that
what
place
would happen.
up.
Yeah.
I would have so much fun. But if I went with Panda and he wanted to start swinging, I'd be
heartbreaking.
Devastated.
Yeah, she said, do couples actually get it on at this type of place? Is this even legal?
They do get it on some places, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, because I think they're consenting adults. you're not exchanging money or anything like that. You're just going into a club and you're saying, hey, this is just where we go to meet other consenting adults. And
It ain't illegal to be a freak. It's illegal to charge for being a freak.
it is kind of weird that, they put that on there that, you can't pay for it.
It's very weird.
It's almost like at this point, like, in society, it's like, I don't know.
To me, if two adults legally want to have sex for money and they're both cool with it, I have no issue with it.
Yeah, I find it completely gross.
Completely gross. I would never, ever do it in a million years.
Hey, you be you.
But yeah, if you're like 75 years old and you spend 50, whatever you want to spend, and everyone's into it.
Well, and I think about like why they wouldn't want to do it. And maybe they'd be worried about, it would just open the doors to sex trafficking and everything else. But it almost seems like, would it get worse or would it get Bet I don't know. And that'd be my biggest question. If you legalize prostitution, would it all of a sudden then just be like blow the doors off of? Because to me, I would think if you regulated it with the government kind of thing, where you had to have a license and this and that, then you'd be able to really go in and check the clientele and the girls working or
like
guys
in
working.
Nevada.
It could be
whatever
legit
it
done
is.
without disease. You could do it on a
Yeah.
legit level and make money for the community.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. That'd be my number one question. Is there a chance, would it increase sex slave trade or would it decrease it?
Yeah,
Or
great
what would it bring
question.
along with it? I don't know. That'd be my one question
Well-
because otherwise, yeah, why not?
The one thing you're never going to get rid of is people going out and looking for sex. It's never going to go away.
Right?
People, since the beginning of time, have been looking to get the freak on.
Yeah.
So you're not going to ever stop that. You're not going to stop people wanting to have sex.
Yeah, you just want people to do it the right way.
Yes.
You know, you just that's really it. It's like you
Oh,
got to
yeah,
be consenting. You got to be an adult.
If that's exactly what I'm saying, making it completely legal, healthy, everyone's involved,
Right.
everyone knows about it, so there is none of that bullshit going on.
And you wonder, does that make our society more horned up and worse when it comes to sexual deviancy, or does it make it better?
You really need to watch that special with Elisa Ling. This is it's amazing. It's all about the bunny ranch.
Okay.
It really is fascinating because if they can do it on a small scale in Nevada, why can't we do it on a major scale everywhere?
Well, even if it wasn't even sex, maybe you just open up a place called Hand Jobs and everyone just goes in there. There's no disease, nobody gets pregnant, but it's legal because right now you can't do that.
I just walk in thinking I'm getting a manicure, and then I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
No, I think the name says it all. You know, when you go to Hand Jobs, you know what you're getting.
It's not a manicure.
Well, because I know someone's going to come back with, well, what if you get someone pregnant and what if disease and all that stuff? Well, just do hand jobs.
He's a solutions provider.
There you go. Jaybird for governor. Got to get you in office, man. Yeah, there is some video that is going around now, and this is actually it's like more like what, like crazy stuff. You know, Virginia, unfortunately, with your pink eye or whatever the real thing is that kept you out. Tail end of last week.
I see your milk jug too. You got over there. Are you making fun of me with your jug?
Oh my gosh! I
water
didn't
jug?
realize it says pink. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. It's
Mocking
water.
me.
Yes, I pink. Eye. Oh, look, I'm drinking out of a pink water bottle.
I see you mocking me over there.
Why do I have so much pink? It really is like I'm taunting you. I don't know. It's just weird how that worked out. But you missed the Cosby story.
I know. Oh, I was following it. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I knew you were. Yeah, and I'm sure. But I knew you. You know, I felt guilty at stealing your thunder, having to deliver that in the dirt.
I know. I was very sad about missing just being able to talk with everybody about it.
Yeah.
He still can appeal, though. I mean, it's not
Sure,
technically
yeah.
done, so we're not doing the happy dance completely just yet.
Oh, I mean, like Kevin said, when you were lying about your pink eye last week, he said on the air, they're gonna run. They're trying to run out the clock with this.
Yeah.
He's 80, so
Yeah.
they don't have that much time.
Right.
I don't know if that's so much it, but like I had told Jaybird last week, for me at least, he is going to go to his grave as a convicted person rather
True.
than an alleged.
True.
And legacy's tarnished.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's in concrete.
And for me, I'm one of those people that I always hold out until, you know, you've gotten your due process and everything else. You know, you can have your opinions and everything else, but until it's all tried in a court of law, I still believe in the American justice system, and I typically side with whatever comes out of a verdict. You know, you may be like, it doesn't feel right, but I'll live by it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
The jury of
Yeah.
the peers
Right.
said it.
And now, you know, people have gone back, and Jaybird pointed out this Facebook video, like they've gone back to old Cosby Show episodes. And now you
yeah.
understand the context of it, stuff you didn't see with what you thought in the 80s was a very innocent and very, you know, morally upright Bill Cosby.
The weird thing, too, this isn't the first time in Bill Cosby's writings where he's talking about putting somebody under some
Yeah.
type of sex spell or
He's
something.
joked about Spanish Fly.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has. And
we
I
played
was
that
I was
before.
telling Kev, I go, there's no way your personal writings and what you're doing, good or bad, doesn't bleed into your routine. Somehow,
Totally.
I mean, looking back now, you're like, this motherfucker's writing about his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is a clip from the Cosby Show, and contextually, what had happened was, their daughters were in fights with their men. They were going on, like Denise, and so here they are. They're making up now, and all of a sudden, his wife, Vanessa, she just can't even believe. Like, well, what would it be? Like, why have they all of a sudden? Why is they so lovey-dovey, and why have they reconciled?
They're all kissing each other, and Bill looks over at Claire and goes, look at that. And she's like, why are they all back together?
Yeah,
That's
so this is what's going on in the scene here.
I love your neck, honey.
Well, it certainly is nice to see them work things out for themselves.
They haven't worked anything out for themselves. It's my barbecue sauce.
Your barbecue sauce.
My barbecue sauce. Haven't you ever noticed after people have some of my barbecue sauce, after a while when it kicks in, they get all huggy-buggy?
Oh, stop.
I'm dead serious. Haven't you ever noticed that after one of my barbecues and they have the sauce, people want to get right home? Let me tell you something else. I got a cup of it up on the night table and
Don't drink it.
I got a cup of it, I said. Left it up there breathing. Why don't you give the chicken to these people that's going up and have some sauce?
So here's the rest of the chicken, you guys.
Dr. Uxloop, I love this chicken. Oh, Rudy, you look real nice today.
The kid's eating.
So Bud starts to eat. Bud starts to eat the chicken with the sauce, and he's going to give it to Rudy. And then Bill Cosby comes up and snatches it out of his hand because clearly there's drugs in the fucking sauce.
Oh my gosh!
Well, if there's not drugs in the sauce, why is he taking it away from Bud?
Thank you.
And that's what we were looking at, laughing at in the 80s and be like, that Bill, he's just drugging everybody and getting them all horned up. Yeah.
Cue the laugh track.
Right.
Dang.
Now you look at that, you're like, gosh.
And then they, like you
wow.
said, there's that Spanish fly one.
Yep, he jokes
Yeah.
about it.
Oh, you know
did.
they're going to be going through every single episode, every
Sure.
scene.
Yeah.
I think they did. There's a lot of clips if you look for them.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think, in the sickness of his mind, I think that he probably thought that was all right. That was fine.
I think he thinks that the rules don't apply to him. I really think that he thinks he's above it all.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I've heard psychiatrists talk about different sides of evil, and some people are evil because of their environment. Then there's this type of personality that really does have they think they're better than everyone. They believe nothing of the rules pertain to them. It's like this these delusions of it's crazy.
It is crazy, but it's real.
It's a real condition.
Yeah. Well, I think he talked about, like, in the Spanish Fly when he said on my block what we did, like it was maybe something that I don't know that they did on the block. And so he, had that in his mind that this is perfectly fine to, use chemicals to persuade someone to have sex with you.
Maybe growing up, that's what he saw.
Yeah.
You are shaped by the things you see when
clearly.
you're in your youth and you're just starting to hook up with girls.
And it's validated by everybody in your neighborhood.
Yeah. All the older boys maybe gave it to him. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I mean, I had lengthy discussions with several people when I did the Michael Vick interview about that kind of stuff. And
Right.
somebody was saying, was telling me and saying, look, I've gone in and they work, they take young kids and try to get them to college and stuff like that. And they said, Kev, you would not believe going into some of these neighborhoods that they don't see anything wrong. They said, I go into a lot of the Spanish neighborhoods and cockfighting is still going on. And
They're like, what's the big deal?
Yeah. They're like, why would anyone be upset with this? And
well,
so,
the perspective with animals still hasn't quite caught up with the times. I feel like there's still all over the world. People mistreat animals and don't think it's wrong. They think animals are beneath everything.
Yeah,
and
right.
don't think they have their own genius.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's lack of education or.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's societal, too.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, if you grow up and everybody trains you that way, that's how you train a child to just grow up insensitive to it.
The question is, what happens when somebody becomes evil and they came like a serial killer who never had a bad upbringing?
I don't think Bill Cosby thinks he's evil.
That really is my thought, too. I think that he is just like, he probably still is like, what's the big deal? Almost kind of like his, take in the way he answered in court when the DA, talked about the private plane, and he said he thinks, what he called him an asshole.
He doesn't have a plane, asshole.
Yeah, right. Answering the
talking
third
about
person.
himself in third person, like
Right.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, you could not come unhinged. I mean, he's talking to himself in third person. He said he never swore.
Yeah. It's real fast. Honestly, I mean, psychologists, it would be interesting to see someone who broke down the psyche of Bill Cosby, and just anybody who's interested in I think it would be a fascinating read to
Heck
say,
yeah.
what is this? Was he shaped by society? Is it his ego? What is it that got him? Is there something else that makes him?
Or a deadly perfect storm of all of those
Could be.
things.
Yeah.
If you want to hear something funny, it's on YouTube. Check out when Eddie Murphy is talking about the time Bill Cosby called him to tell him not to swear, and how wrong it's so wrong to be a comedian swear like that. And Eddie Murphy was really taken back, so then he called Richard Pryor to see what he had to say. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Because Richard
Awesome.
Pryor's like, fuck Bill Cosby.
I just saw on Netflix they got Eddie Murphy Delirious. I put it on my queue list.
Is
to
that the
watch
one
it.
he's in the red outfit?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
I can't remember, but yeah, the thing I'm talking about is Eddie Murphy from one of his comedy specials. But
So good.
If you just Google Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, it comes right up. I highly
Yes.
recommend it.
Yeah, he was in the red costume, and that's the one that wasn't as good, right?
Oh, I can't remember.
I can't remember all the.
Red is great. The red outfit is great. I remember
Is it?
belly laughing to that
It's
one.
been so long. I remember, as I was a kid, we would, hide it from our parents because there's no way my parents would,
Oh, yeah, your mom and dad would have been like, what?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I just remember as a kid listening to all of his stand-up comedy stuff. Maybe Raw was the one that I didn't love as much. I think Delirious was really good.
Delirious, for me, was funny. I remember it being hysterical.
Yeah, I thought it was. But anyway, it's on Netflix if you want to check that out. So, a little comedy classic there. Somebody saying, Kev, where's the Vic interview? You can see it. It's on YouTube. If you go see it, there's a YouTube channel for Kevin's other show. You can go check it out there. I haven't played the audio on it yet. Probably will, just haven't gotten around to it as of yet. But Michael Vick was he was on the NFL draft over the weekend.
Oh.
It's interesting to see.
Football, you said, has embraced him again.
It's weird to see because when I mentioned it on KVJ, Michael Vick, I got definitely some brushback, comments about it, and my approach with it was, I've explained it before. It was just kind of okay. Somebody that's it wasn't kissing his ass. It was just saying okay, redemption, what you've learned, that kind of stuff, and where are you? But I still really am just kind of flabbergasted. He was all over the NFL draft. He was just named the offensive coordinator for, they're doing like a minor league professional football league. It's kind of respectable. I mean, they do have some people that are in it, like Steve Spurrier's coaching the Orlando team, a well-known name.
Okay.
He's the offensive coordinator for that. He's on TV doing a 7-on-7 league, and it's like he's back like
Well,
nothing at all, and it's really fascinating. Yeah,
it goes to the question: do people, when someone makes a mistake, especially when they're in the public eye,
Yeah.
do the masses want to see that person punished forever?
Yeah.
Is that person never able to redeem themselves as a human? Let's say somebody does something like Michael Vick, and he truly is. Now, I don't know because I don't know Michael Vick, but let's say he truly, in his heart, really hurts for killing those dogs, and he wanted to make a change, and he legit really did make a change. Does he not deserve a second chance? And I'm merely asking the question.
That was my question. And my take, I do believe in that because I think otherwise you're just going to cast away a life. And what do? You just eat up your time. So I think that your story sometimes, if you're sincere, and that's the tough thing, is some people do it for not the right reasons.
Monetary gain and
Yeah,
getting back in that limelight.
Because people will say, okay, Michael Vick, if you really are feeling sorry, you would dedicate so much of your life into making sure the animals never get. I mean, that's what his naysayers would say.
Yeah,
they'd say it wouldn't be going on the NFL Network to getting a high-paying job in the public eye again. It would be to really dedicate your life.
But I think those people need to then look at everything he's doing, and I think people in sports are seeing more. Like, I know he's down here mentoring kids and working with them to try to say, look, I made mistakes, don't do what I did. if you're in a culture where there's dogfighting going on, it's not okay. And so he's trying to change the culture. So that's where he's working. So I think,
and with that NFL platform, it gets him respect.
So
with those kids.
So he has made changes, and he has tried to be a better person.
I think people that aren't ingrained in the sports world don't see that, because people only want to talk about the awful stuff, but they don't want to ever then, if you ever do start doing good stuff, shine a light on that to say, look, they're trying to do something good.
Well, outside of football, I don't think people know about all the good things he's been trying to redeem himself by doing.
That hasn't got a lot of publicity.
It has not.
Yeah. So that's
so
why
what do you do with
it?
What do you do with a person like that? Like for you, you're like, hey, give him another chance.
Well, I looked at him. I said, if you can guide people on the right path, then I think that there's a purpose for the awful things that you've done, and you repent, you turn away from it, and you try to get other people to say, look, I didn't have this guidance. Let me try to grab a kid and say, look, this isn't the way to go. Learn from my mistakes. So, that was part of the interview that I did. If you want to go check it out, it's there on YouTube.
And I asked these questions because I saw how much hate from our show got with the Michael Vick thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm sure he still does, but it is rather interesting to just see what it's like for him more. I think there's shelter for him in the sports world, for the guy now. And it's still surprising to me to see that, without repercussion or whatever, that he seems to be in there. And hopefully he is truly doing a ton of stuff.
I mean, you got someone like a Billy Bush who, he, for a year and a half, he was exiled, man. People, they called him every name in the book. Yeah. What do you do with someone like that? So many people had so many... It's just weird. It's just weird that some people get out of the I'm in trouble jail and some people don't.
Mm-hmm. I will always, I think, be in the big path of redemption, and I'm a big fan of that. My mom was just on a missions trip in Guatemala, and there was a guy that came running into the church one day, and he had the cartel after him. He was in the cartel. He was
my gosh.
Yeah, big high.
While she was there?
No, this happened a couple years ago. He came in,
Like, geez.
And he was a guy that, he was like a hitman in the cartel and all that kind of stuff, and things had turned, and he said, I can't continue doing what I'm doing, just all this awful stuff. And he got in, turned his life around. Now he's a missionary and helping people build like communities and things like that, and trying to get people out of the drug trade. And so he's saying, look, this is a dead end life existence, don't go into it. So he's trying to reach kids before they get sucked into the cartel.
So did he murder people too?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so you can murder and then ask for forgiveness, and then you can...
I believe in that. I believe that, you can turn around, you can do awful things, and I think you'll always carry that with you. I think that's a part of what you are, but I believe that you can go that path.
I definitely think you can do awful things in life and change and reflect and go, that was a terrible thing that I had done, and I'll never do that again. I think that part is being... Now, again, you're talking about stealing a piece of food from somebody or murder. It starts to get a little bit... The worse the crime, you want to see people pay.
Yeah, and I think you do. I think you do need to pay. I still believe in that. I think that you need to do your time. I think that's ultimately what should happen. I mean, you should be brought to justice. It shouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to now go help somebody in place of going to prison for the time. But,
I got away with it.
I just killed 30 people. God forgive me. Okay, let's go to the bar.
Right. Yeah, that ain't the way it goes. But Michael Vick did his time. He was in federal prison. He did his time, and he got out. And since he got out, he said, I need to turn it around. So
I'm more on the side of Kevin. I think people make mistakes, and we should have compassion on certain levels of things. Yeah. Certain levels
and
of things.
You still wear it as a stain. I mean, it's still something that hangs around your neck forever. I think it should. Michael Vick's previous life, it should hang around his neck forever. He should never be able to take that off. It should weigh him down for the rest of his days. But it does mean that he could use that to say, look, I got this stain on me, and here's the thing you can learn from so you don't carry the same stain. Don't do it.
Yeah, he really needs to embrace it more.
Yeah.
And lead with, let's talk about this first.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get this out there, and let me tell you what I've done to be a different man.
He was very open to me. He answered all the questions, and he went down the path and, talked about it and all that kind of stuff.
Because the one thing I don't like when celebrities do is when you bring up something from their past that's been out in the public and they've talked about it before, and they go, well, I've already talked about this stuff in other
Right.
well, your audience hasn't heard that possibly, so you kind of
Exactly.
need to. And there's younger people that are coming up; they don't know your story.
When you do it, you've got it becomes a stain on you.
It does.
And you have to wear it. And if nothing else, you need to embrace it and say, look, yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. Because like everybody, we're all gonna mess up. We're all gonna do something. But it's like I gotta say, yeah, I messed up. But I'm
Figure out
smarter
how
now.
to spin it.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be in the public eye, you have
Yes.
to. You have. If people are going to ask you questions and you have a stain, you gotta talk about
You
it.
do. You always have to talk about it. Yeah, you can't say, well, I've already, yeah, I don't buy that either. You're right. You got to address it, and that's got to be your thing. Say, yep, I did it. I learned from it.
I mean, you can't. You have the option to say, I don't want to talk about it, but I just don't think that's fair to that audience.
Yeah. I got this email from Denise. She said, hey, I am one of the people that emailed about the animal abuse the other day. I know Jason was upset thinking that we didn't listen to you because of the commercials. A commercial that one of the news stations was doing something on people who harm their animals to go get opioids for the animal and then they'll take it
I
themselves.
saw
And
that.
there's sound
I
effects. It's
saw
like
that.
so over the top,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
We did not stop listening. We just waited until the commercial's over. We know that you have no control of the commercials. No worries, Jaybird. We love you. Denise and Redneck Rocks at you.
Well, at first I was like, why the hell are they not listening to us? And then Kevin explained the commercial. That I'm getting pissed now. We're running that commercial.
Yeah. So it was there. But anyway. All right. Well, appreciate all of your emails. You can always send them to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. Mail at kvjshow.com. Have an amazing day. We will talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.